Alright, welcome. This is my leaf for tea that I'm with Kalub. Okay, now we can start. Okay, so what is she doing?
She wants shrooms.
For what?
Taking.
What does she know about shrooms?
She's taken them before. She just told me about the whole brain connection thing.
What brain connection thing?
You know, when you open the pathway, or taking psychedelics like opens a pathway in your brain.
But she's already taken them.
Yeah.
So it's already happened.
And she just wants the experience.
Yeah, this is crazy. You're kind of delving deeper and deeper into this woman's life. Like, it's only been like 2 weeks. Like, how long has it been? Oh, it's been like a month now, probably almost. No, 3 weeks.
So, damn, how long has it been?
That's what I'm saying. I think it's only been like 3 weeks, not even a month.
Yeah, I think it's been 3.
Yeah. And then you guys are doing all this shit.
Yeah.
You don't think that's weird?
I don't know. It's work, I guess.
It's work?
It's easy work.
No, I get that. Because you're like, there's a chance you're going to be living this with this woman, right?
I guess. I'll probably, like, move into Hayden's before I move into her house.
Why?
Just because I don't know why all this stuff is, like, happening to her. But I'm wondering if she's, like, sleepwalking or if something's actually happening.
No, it's probably not actually happening. Like there's a clear, like, I'm not saying she's doing this, but there's a lot of, what I heard from people who are like that, they do a lot of self-sabotaging. You know what I mean? So their life ends up like that because they don't know. It's not their fault. It's because it's a lot of unconscious self-sabotage.
Well, it was stuff like today. Did I tell you about the loose door handle?
Or the unlocked, or she left it. Oh yeah, you told me, yeah.
Yeah, one of the bolts came, like, undone, and then we left it like that because when you do that, it's easier to, the little door brace will just fall off. So we left it loose so that when you put the door brace on it, ooh, that was not a pretty burp. When you leave it loose, it, like, accommodates for that, so you can't just, like, jiggle the fucking thing off. Well, today it was tightened. So.
What, she said nothing about it? Or she said, why is it tightened?
She, like, called me when I left about it.
And said, why is it tightened?
Yeah. So she's either lying or something's happening. I don't fucking know.
Well, once again, there's unconscious sabotage. Then there might be her other nurses or her other helpers. What do you know about them?
I don't think any of them really come around anymore. I think there's Santiago, and he's kind of unreliable, I guess, from what I've heard. So she doesn't really hire him all that much anymore.
Okay.
And that's the only guy.
So it's only you.
Pretty much.
Okay. Okay, then I don't know what to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not at the point where I, like, believe that all this shit's happening yet, but I haven't seen anything in either way, so.
I don't know.
Like,
Because there would have to be something special about her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think, like, people just don't, you know what I mean? People just don't target people. I don't know. It's not a thing people do. Like, there has to be something with her for her to be of value to be targeted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, she did something to this. She, like, got his guy. She told, like, this guy's girlfriend that he cheated on her with him. Or him. He cheated on his girlfriend with
Her.
Teresa.
Yeah.
And she told her that, so she broke up with him. And I guess that's the reason, she says.
And through his pursuit over years, starting slow. It just eventually, no.
I'm trying to keep an open mind.
No, yeah, there's nothing wrong with just keeping an open mind, but the only thing that could be of anything is the fact that she has money. But still, she doesn't have that much money. You know what I mean? Like, how much could someone actually get from her? You know what I mean? If they're trying to get, you know what I mean? It just seems highly unlikely. Alright, with that being said, our podcast last week got disappeared, so they know nothing about you not basically losing your place. You know what I mean? That never happened in the state of the podcast. So last week, Adam basically lost his room, and somehow over the last week, he's managed to not only find a place, but get a van, right? Or what?
Working towards getting a van.
What's happening?
So I have to schedule a day, go out there. Oh, fuck me. Fuck. I got jalapeno juices in the back of my fucking throat. So, schedule day. I'm thinking Sunday. Are you free Sunday? Are you free Sunday?
For what?
To go look at the van.
Okay, yeah.
So if I schedule it Sunday, then Saturday, I have to tell her that I'm scheduled for Sunday, and if it checks out, I'm probably going to buy it there. So I need to get the money that day.
And she says, that's all she says, is like, just tell me when, I'll give you the money?
I think she wants me to go look at it, but it's not really realistic when it's fucking an hour away.
And well, you know, you have to tell her that not a day before, right? Because what she says no, and then what are you supposed to do? Go Sunday? Or what?
I just guess go look at it.
Oh, actually, yeah, you can do that, but do you have any money? Like, any money at all? What's the most money you have?
Like 500. Yeah,
you could put a down payment of 500. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's gonna say 2,500, so you can't put $500 down payment of your money. You know what I mean? And then that means it's yours. You can't give it to anyone else. And then you go get the 2,500, take your $500 back, give them the 2,000.
Yeah.
I'm saying if she doesn't do that, you can do that.
Me.
What? Let's smoke a bowl, because you're probably not in the best of moods right now. I heard your road rage earlier. Which pipe? We'll start through the podcast. We'll do one now. Wait a little bit, you know what I mean? Another one.
Let's do,
because these are the deepest. This one's the smallest.
Let's do your pipe first.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, so Adam went from almost leaving to West Virginia to now there's a big chance that our podcast is gonna like get some major upgrades in the next couple of months. Like, think about it, you have $500 now. Like, if you just want to, we can already start like looking at places, you know.
It's my soda.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Because I thought it was a soda, but I'm like, still, that could be a soda exploding, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're making like hell bank, and you keep working for her, we could like legit try.
Yeah.
Because I got the gear and stuff like that to do it, so we just need a place.
Because I want to get the van,
yeah,
make it livable, which, if I get this one, it shouldn't take
much. Blankets.
Blankets and probably like a solar panel.
Yeah.
Ooh, and I need like blackout curtains to block the windows.
Even then, we could probably even go to Mexico. You can get them tinted for super cheap. You can do that too.
But mostly when I do it to keep the heat out.
Oh, I didn't think about that. But
ooh, my mom like heavily suggested that I could go and like get Stubby and just have him in the car or have him in the van.
so you told her you're gonna be in a van, living in a van?
Yeah.
And they're all cool with it, or what they said?
I told them that before I left West Virginia, like
that you're gonna. Yeah, you already told me that you told them,
yeah.
And they were kind of like questioning it or something like that.
They were both questioning it. My dad was the only one that was like somewhat against it.
Like hard no.
Well, it wasn't like hard no, but it was like I just imagine that you're gonna be in the middle of the nowhere, you're stranded.
Yeah, that's the point. That's what I would have said. So yeah, so if you get this van, it looks like we're really gonna be making that podcast.
How much do solar panels cost? Car.
Nowadays with people like Elon Musk, it's getting very inexpensive. I honestly don't think it's that expensive just to get like 2 solar panels set up. I just think it's the batteries. Because you have to have batteries that'll store the power, you know what I mean? And yeah, I just think it's mainly that. That's going to cost you money.
I think most people use like car batteries.
I wouldn't. I don't think they work the same. You can, but I wouldn't do that. I would just use the solar panel batteries. Because they're like meant to be. I don't know how to explain it. But the batteries are different.
So I don't think I've seen like specialty solar panel batteries and like vans and stuff like that when I watch the videos. It's always like fucking car batteries and shit.
I wouldn't want to do that. You could do that. I see no reason why it wouldn't work, but I wouldn't want to do that. From what I know about solar energy and wind energy, I wouldn't want to do that. Because there's a specific... Jesus Christ. There's a specific reason for the batteries, like these I don't even know how they fucking work. But the way they're, like, linked together are different. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the way it pulls power and stuff like that is different than a car battery. And it's supposed to be more geared towards solar panels and wind turbines than... You know what I mean? I don't know, fuck it. If you find a video that shows it, it's cheaper than...
Yeah, whatever's cheaper, really.
Oh, here, I have this. That's probably why you're not smoking. Yeah, so that'd be sick if we do that with our podcast.
Yeah.
Alright, so my last class, somehow I've been thrown into a situation where I'm gonna be helping the film club and I might be helping someone make a movie. Like, literally within like 15 minutes, I don't know what happened. So I went to my... I pushed it past... There you go. I went to my teacher after class because we were talking about horror. And I'm like, oh, I had to tell him about the Hitchcock book I read. Because I already knew the teacher. And I'm like, oh, we could just talk about it. And surprisingly, he didn't know about it. Which I should be surprised because it seems like all these teachers are morons. Like, he had no idea about the book. And the book is one of the greatest contributions to film. And anyways, that's just me going on. So I explained the book to him. And that's it. And I asked him a question that also we were talking about class, and then I was about to leave, and this guy who I used to have a class with him last semester, does it make sense, to another student that I had the class with, he's like, oh, I heard you talking about the book, what book is it? And I show him a book on the phone. He's like, oh, are you working on anything? No. And I'm like, oh no, I just kind of writing scripts and just, you know, just thinking about movies. And he's like, oh, do you have any equipment? I'm like, yeah, I kind of have everything. And he's like, why aren't you working on anything? And I'm like, I don't know. And then that's when the teacher chimed in, and he's like, oh, do you want to help us at the film club? I'm like, what did I say? I'm trying to think. I don't know what I said, but I'm like, yeah, sure, I can help you. And he's like, email me that book and email me that you can help with the film club. And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, no one's in the fucking film club. So that means if I join, then I'll automatically be president. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking about. But yeah, I was talking to them, and we're going to talk next week.
Moving up in the world.
Not even moving up in the world, it's just random.
Yesterday, a film student. Tomorrow, film club president.
Tomorrow, 2019, Maricosta Film Club president at your service.
I'm gonna bring this club to new limits.
Well, it's like, it's a film club, and like, from what I knew from last semester, because he's hosting it, but he's trying to get students, and he tried getting me to do it last semester, but I don't think you understand. I really don't give a shit about like doing shit like that. Like, to me, that seems like complete horseshit, and like, I don't know. And he tried, but I said no. And this semester, I'm thinking about it, maybe. The only reason why I would do it is if I was in control. That's it.
What do you even do in film club?
Talking about movies?
My thing with clubs has always been like, it's no direction to anything. You just fucking go there to sit around and do nothing, basically.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really care about doing shit like that.
Yeah.
If I were to do it, it would be a real thing in which there's people trying to make them, like, you know what I mean? There's people trying to make a movie in the club or something like that.
Yeah. I think the first club I ever joined was in middle school when I joined the anime chess club.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
I was still drawing at that time, and I was really trying to do like the style.
I was inspired by anime.
Trying to make my own edgy cartoons. So I started going to the club, and they just like play videos on the monitor, and then like half the class would play chess in the back of the room, and the rest of us would just sit in desks and draw like we were in class anyway.
It's
I just stopped going after a while.
Why'd you even go? Like, what motivated you?
Just a time to sit down and draw, I guess.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never gave a shit about that. Like, remember in high school when what's his name started the League of Legends Club? Yeah, remember we went for a little bit? Cause I went to support him, he was my friend, you know what I mean? And then I was like, holy shit, these are a bunch of fucking losers. And that's where I stopped going.
I think I went
twice. I remember I went twice, and then that was enough for me to be like, holy shit.
They did it like...
Sorry, they're not losers, they're just being really cringy the whole time. It was annoying.
It's like once a month that they did these weird big like meetings or something, right?
Yeah, or no, I thought it was once a week.
It might have been that. I remember I went to like 3 of those, and I would only sit in there for like 5 minutes, and then I'd just leave.
Go to lunch?
Yeah, because they just talked about random bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I thought you guys actually had something to say.
Yeah, and there's no type of organization or anything. It's so annoying. That's why I wouldn't want to do a club that's like that. It fucking annoys me.
What you gonna call it? Did you ever go? Have you ever been in like a club?
No, I didn't want to. I didn't care. I was in League of Legends Club. I signed up and did it, and I went to the 2, and that's it.
The only one I went to in like, the only one when I went to like regularly in high school was the surf club. But I fucking suck at surfing, so after freshman year, it just kind of stopped. And then I had that weird confrontation with my mother where for like 2 years she'd always complain about how like, oh, I stopped going to the club, da, 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 da. And then senior year I started going again, and then I think it was like the second time she's like, no, I don't want to go, you just go there to eat or something like that. So I stopped going again. That was a very good story. Yeah. That was my second club experience.
Surf club and VHS club. It's a big leap. You have anything written down?
I think so.
Any of those interesting spicy topics? I'll tell you what I have written down. So when I'm editing, I think I told you about it. Like when I think of movies like as if I was editing it in Adobe After Effects. But I don't know. It's so weird to think that way when I don't know. I just said, why did I wrote down my big brain Adobe After Effects, and I don't know why I wrote that. So I must have did something on Adobe After Effects that I thought was big brain. I just remember that, and I was just telling, what is the word? I was just mentioning that when I think of movies, I think of them. Or when I think of how they're made, I think of how it's edited. And it's interesting because a lot of people, when they get into movies, they like acting or theater. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think my main point is it's not. I'm not an actor. You know what I mean? I'm not a theater person. That going off on another subject. The one girl I dated last, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we just saw her at the beach. She used to be like a theater person, want to like go on stage. So I went to one of her plays where she was performing in downtown Oceanside, and like it's like not my thing. Like sitting there and watching people perform, like that's just not interesting to me. Like I guess I went because like, well, yeah, it's not that hard to support, you know what I mean? But like it's just not. It's genuinely not like. It's not like cool, or it's not like. I get no pleasure, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I think, now just going even on a bigger tangent, my thing is that I like the technical stuff. I like the cinematography, like the camera, you know what I mean? What you could do with the camera, and I like the editing, you know what I mean? And that's what I like about film. And then also just making a story. So I think those are, you know what I mean? My thing wouldn't be, you know what I mean? What?
I'm having trouble piecing together that whole thing to something coherent.
What did I just say?
It's not you. I'm fairly sure it's my head because I was staring at you and I was not listening. I was trying to, but I was off somewhere else. So you don't like plays? Like just watching plays or performing things. Yeah,
I see why other people enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it. You know what I mean? I went and it was cool. The people were decent. Like there's nothing that. For me, I enjoy sitting in a movie theater, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And watching a movie, or sitting down and watching a movie. I get more pleasure from that than going and sitting down and watching a play. Even though they might seem the same, they're drastically different.
Yeah. What you call it? I feel like the people that like plays are the kind of people that like just sit down concerts.
Sit down concerts?
Yeah, like
on a hill or something?
Like fucking country concerts and shit like that, where they just sit on a fucking bench on the hill
or something. Yeah,
it's just a hill full of people sitting and listening to the music. I remember when I went to the Rush concert. I don't particularly like Rush all that much. So the whole thing, everyone was just fucking standing and looking at the thing. So you can't sit if you want to watch.
So there's seats?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
it's like a real the fucking gym kind of thing where there's just bleachers all over the place and everyone's standing.
Keep going. I can only imagine you sitting and everyone around you standing. Keep going, go.
So it was. I stood for a while before it was just got to the point where it's like, it's dark, I'm over it, and I just sat down. And then I'd get up every once in a while to make my dad think that I'm into it, I guess. I was just getting tired, but. The concert I went to with Hayden was much better because there was shoving and there's a fucking kind of a weak ass mosh pit in the middle, at least from what I've heard. It was just kind of loosely populated, and you'd run towards the side of a circle and get shoved off. You'd run towards the other side of the circle and shoved off, and if anyone's near you, you just kind of fucking ram into them and keep going.
Yeah, it doesn't seem enjoyable.
If it was more populated, it probably would have been more fun, but I don't want to be in the mosh pits where they're beating the shit out of each other.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying the Rush concert would have been better for me. I don't want the mosh pits. Sounds like a horrific time.
And it was I forget what concert it was, but I remember they had Rob Zombie and the people that did the rock version of Burning Ring of Fire.
So you don't even know their name. You just know the alternate cover that they did.
That's the only way I can refer to them, really. I've said it to Hayden, and Hayden's told me their name again before, but it's always just the people that played the rock version of Burning Ring of Fire. But yeah, it was Rob Zombie, and then when it got dark, they came out, and they were the main band. And then we got to the end of their concert, and then we were done, so we all started to shuffle out. But then Tim McGraw or some country singer was in a real amphitheater with seats and shit like that. Yeah. And there was a bunch of people at the top of the hill on blankets watching. And none of them like country. So I have no fucking clue why they all stopped and watched for 30 minutes.
Who?
Hayden, or the group with Hayden and his dad and Jimmy, and
why didn't you say anything?
Because nobody else was saying anything. I don't want to be the fucking stickler.
Man, I'm the stickler.
So we watched that for 30 minutes, and then
Tim McGraw. I fucking miss Tim McGraw.
Then we went home. That was the day after I got high the first time.
You told me about that. That's so funny because I heard two separate stories. The day you got high and the day you went to the concert. Now I know because I remember you told me you were in the backseat. You're like, I'm so high. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That was a trippy day.
But it's just funny now. I know that both the stories connect.
Yeah. The one point I have for this podcast, I already talked about earlier.
What?
Are
you serious?
Oh, making calls right after I wake up.
What was I gonna say? So, me and my buddy Steven, the guy we had on the podcast, not too long ago. I think it was actually the last podcast. We decided to go smoke. When was that?
What? That was a long string of. It was like tiny burp, tiny burp, tiny burp, just in sequence.
So I do that all the time, and you just noticed it now. So me and my buddy Steven go decide to smoke, right? When the sun is out, we got a spot. You know the golf course? We go there. That's our spot to go. And so usually Thursdays is when we go smoke. And so yesterday was Thursday. Yeah, so this happened actually yesterday. I thought it was earlier this week, but it was yesterday. So yesterday we decided to smoke. It wasn't raining, so we thought we were gonna go, right? Mm-hmm. So I pull up to the school. I get there. I leave class at 10, and he doesn't get out of class till 1:30. So I go home, take care of my chickens, and then go back, hang out with him, and go to my next class at 3:30. You know what I mean? So we smoked for 2 hours.
It was hella raining yesterday.
Exactly. so that's the story. So, right, I pull to the school. He tells me, oh, I'm at the bus stop. Right? I turn around, or I go to do U-turn on the fucking corner. This lady, she's giving fucking birth.
Literally, oh my god.
Literally on the corner. Then it starts to rain. I'm like, holy shit. This is Jesus being born. So I start to U-turn while I'm looking at this lady give birth. Basically, right? So I U-turn, then boom, I almost hit someone. So boom, I stopped the car. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, what the fuck you do? I didn't do that. But I'm like, what the hell? And I kept going. Because it was clear that I was U-turning, you know what I mean? There's no one at the other, it was an intersection like this. They were right there as you turn to go this way, you know what I mean? And, so I almost hit him, and then I go pick up Steven, I'm like, dude, there's someone giving birth right there. And then, he's like, fucking dude, it's raining, what are we gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know. And then we drive around for like, I don't even know, 30 minutes, something like that, or like, even longer. It must be like 45 minutes. Then we decided to smoke at the bus stop. At the mall, they have like a cover for people in the rain. So people didn't hang out there for more than like 5 minutes because the bus would come. Mm-hmm. So we just smoked there. But yeah, I witnessed a baby being born and which hit someone, and then we have a smoke spot for the rain.
How did you know she was giving birth? Did you see the head coming out?
She was like this. She was like this. She had something on her legs, and there's someone right there.
Was she just like on the concrete? Or?
Yeah, she was on the floor, and then she was surrounded, and she's like this, and she's like holding hands to someone like this, and then there's like a blanket over her legs, you know, and there's someone over there. I don't know if he was lifting, if I saw someone in front on their knees, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ, but you know what I mean? It's the miracle of life. You know what I mean? Like it was on the corner, but I witnessed it. Like, I should be blessed, or that's a blessing.
My thing is, that sounds like the most trashiest thing I've ever heard.
It's Oceanside, dude. Dude, this is Maricosta. This is on Maricosta, too.
Can you imagine if you were born on a fucking street corner with a fucking blanket over your mom's legs as a bunch of random strangers stare?
You know what's so funny? With the technology now, people are gonna film it, right? So it's like never gonna be like, it's like, say it's documented by the news or something, or like even the mom saves the video, you know what I mean? Yeah. And kids later, you know what I mean? Normal kids will be born in the hospital or something, and you know he's born on the corner. You know what I mean, little Jimmy? They're like, you're fucking weird. They're like, shut the fuck up. You were born in the corner.
Dude. Imagine the circumstances that she didn't just go to a hospital.
Okay, well, it was right by if you're a parent there and you're a full-time student, you can leave, there's like a child care. So she must have been leaving that area and picking up her other child or something. So I don't think circumstances led her to have a baby in that corner. I think she was picking up her other child and she happened to have a baby.
Well, it's like giving birth takes like hours. So you'd think if your water breaks, you have enough time to just get to the hospital.
Well, maybe it just happened. You know what I mean?
Just happened?
Like, it just happened. You know what I mean? So now the hours are starting for her. Like, I just witnessed the starting of her starting to give birth. Or start to feel the symptoms of wanting to give birth.
We wouldn't do that on the street corner. You'd like...
in the middle of the rain.
Because a lot of them take like hours, like 7 hours kind of shit. So you have plenty of time to get to a hospital before it starts like coming.
Okay, well then, what, you're telling me what I saw isn't real?
I'm not saying it's not real. I'm saying, how the fuck do you get to that
to that situation?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I saw it clear as day because
there's literally like a warning button built into it. Like, I just pissed myself. Like, just...
Oh, I don't know. Maybe... I don't know. Maybe she had to work or something. I don't know.
Work?
But you don't know. I don't think you understand. When you got a child and you don't got anything else to do, or not anything else to do, all you have to do is take care of your child. It's like... You don't got time to not work, you know what I mean? She was probably working up until she gave birth. I'm saying in that if we make some type of context for her, make her a struggling single mom, you know what I mean?
I guess. Yeah.
But she was a Mexican lady, so maybe, I don't know. Is that racist? Oh no, that kind of was racist. Jeez, that's right. You're like looking at it. What?
Seeing where that car was.
Is it a cop?
No. Don't think so, at least. Whoop! I think cops always pull in from... Wait.
Wait a second. It doesn't work like that. They pull in from here. Anytime a cop has ever came, oh, she's taking longer than normal. She's calling the cops. I'm just kidding. Dang, I have nothing to say.
So, yeah... That one time they came from, like, right there.
No, they came from here.
Oh, you remember? They, like, were taking pictures, and we looked over, and they, like, stopped right there. With their headlights on, and we kind of looked at them. Like, oh, that's weird. But we didn't know it was a cop yet. And then they pulled up across the intersection and turned on their lights.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they came in this way.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I don't think that's possible.
Like, you go down, do U-turn.
Yeah, I can see them do that, but I thought you meant this way.
Like right across from us.
Yeah.
That's where I saw them coming from.
Yeah, but I can assume they took a right turn. I thought you said there's a left turn.
You go in this way.
Yeah, and make a U-turn. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Ooh. So, do you have anything written down?
Oh yeah, that's something else written down. It was Big Brain W After Effects. Oh, and subcultures that exist today. Because it seems like there is none. And that if there were, it would just be like online, like 4chan or something. There is no physical subcultures anymore.
Subcultures? Like what?
I don't know. I guess graffiti culture. You know what I mean? There used to be a subculture of graffiti. People who used to graffiti and used to hang out with those people like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems like those are completely dismantled and they're kind of put online now.
Yeah, I guess. So you mean like physical people meeting up?
Yeah, but they're not. Not everyone's doing whatever they're doing. It's like a subculture. I'm trying to think of something.
I gotta be big brain.
What?
Have you like worked in Adobe? Or After Effects a lot?
God, wait. What do you mean?
Well, that's just kind of like drag and drop and then click save, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess, but
like I doubt you're getting big brain effects from just editing up the podcast. So you like working on something else?
mm-mm.
So what else is there? Oh, what you call it? Nah, that's not.
What?
I was gonna bring up the commercial thing,
What commercial
but
thing?
I ultimately decided that my answer wasn't good.
What commercial thing?
Why don't they just hire like real writers to do their commercials?
What do you mean?
Like we talked about it on the podcast with Steven.
What?
Why companies don't hire like real comedians for like commercials and shit.
No. Well, it's that wasn't my argument. My argument was that that they're making commercials that are trying to be genuine, but they're trying so hard to be genuine that it looks ungenuine. That they're trying so hard to be like with the people that it's not with the people. That it seems like they're trying to be like, for example, the Twix commercial or whatever. I told you, you know how cops slide on cars, and then they just ended up with them sliding on the cars and just sitting there talking.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's something that they're trying to be fun. Like they're trying to be quirky and funny. That's different. You know what I mean? But you know they're trying that hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You said something about hiring. Like, why don't they just hire something?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why don't they get... There's people who could probably make a commercial that... I could probably make a commercial that seems way more genuine than that.
I don't know. Like, I feel like the idea of a commercial is hard to sell in, like, a traditional sense, I guess.
No, because I think if they're smart, their selling point was if they were genuine. If they try to genuinely do it, you know what I mean? Well, like, and try to be with the culture, you know what I mean? Instead of just pure take advantage of them.
Like, there's nothing genuine about it. They're trying to sell their product using it.
Exactly. People know that.
So how do you make it genuine?
Exactly. You take advantage of it. The fact that people know that you're selling their product. You can make a commercial way better with people knowing that you're selling their product than make it a shitty commercial that looks like you're trying to like, oh, I'm with the culture. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And I'm also saying that, oh, I'm with the culture sort of thing. Or you can make a commercial that is actually with the culture. Or that's with the time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it seems like they're trying so hard to be with the culture that it's not. You know what I mean? It's seen as ungenuine or not. It's seen as a commercial because it's trying so hard to appeal to us. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Ooh, I'm fucking tired.
Why?
I went to bed at like 6 this morning. And then Teresa woke me up at 10. And then I spent like an hour texting her while I figured out what she was trying to tell me. And then I went to bed at like 11 and woke up at like 11:30. And then I set my alarm for 11:45.
That makes absolutely no sense.
I didn't get a lot of sleep.
I know, but for me, it's like I had 4 hours of sleep, and I'm gonna have to wake up at 11:45. I'm already up at 10. You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, let me just get up at 10. Because I'm not gonna feel better for sleeping for 30 minutes and then waking up and sleeping for another 15.
I don't think you tried it enough. Sometimes it absolutely helps.
Maybe. But I used to do that in high school and it never helped. I feel better now when I just get up. So, what?
Go ahead.
Did I talk to you about this in person or when we recorded? I don't know. But I said politics is like a movie or like a TV show now. And I said the CEO of Starbucks, I told you about this, so I didn't record the podcast. The CEO of Starbucks joined the political race for 2020 candidate of presidency. And he sounds so sane that the radical left are like losing their balls. Like they're terrified of him because he sounds sane. And they're scared because if that happens, then they're probably going to pull most of the Democratic votes and Trump is going to win. And they're literally blatantly saying it. They're like, listen, if you vote for him, Trump is going to win. Which doesn't even seem like the right strategy to take if you want to take advantage of the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they wanted to they should probably somehow get him to join the Democratic Party instead of be his senator. Instead of just like, they literally like directly attacked him. Now it seems more of a chance that he's not going to join the Democratic Party, you know what I mean? And make it even harder for them to win. So it's like they're fucking themselves over. And then I don't know if I told you this, but it's like even worse. Trump tweeted out shit-talking him. He's like, oh, he thinks he's the CEO of Starbucks and he can run for president like I did. Ha, you know what I mean? He did something like that. He was just like, ha, he can't do like what I've done or something like that. And just teasing on, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you doing, Trump? If you just said nothing, there's a chance that like they can be friends or be on good terms and he joins the political race as the senator and Trump wins. You know what I mean? But if he gets pissed, he can just join the Democratic Party and, you know what I mean, fuck over Trump.
Yeah.
So it's like what the fuck is Trump doing? And then he made a video where it's like, hello, my name is blah blah blah. I grew up in Brooklyn, and my father died when I was 7 years old. He's like, and he's just showing that he's a humble beginning or whatever, right? Then the radical Democrats, I don't know why they would think this was a good idea, but they're like, oh, it doesn't matter if he had it hard, like he's still a rich billionaire. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, are you serious? Like this guy's like from the broke part of Brooklyn. And I think he went to like the public education system, you know what I mean? And he worked hard and became CEO, or started Starbucks and all that. And so yeah, just how hard they're trying to, yeah, they're just stupid. And now it's like a show.
Is Hillary running again?
No, the only people I know is she hasn't said she can still, you know what I mean, until the day of, I guess, but there's Bernie. Well, there's 39 delegates. I think I told you this. So there's a shit ton of people running for president on the Democratic side. But the three front runners are Bernie, Nancy Pelosi, I think, and then this other crazy lady, this crazy white Democratic lady. Those are the three people who are probably gonna run. And then there's the CEO of Starbucks, the senator. Then there's Donald Trump. So that's all we know so far. So this is like on like a hype to see this election, how it's gonna pan out, and see whether or not our country is gonna be shit. But you know what's so like, what I like about the CEO of Starbucks is one. What Ben Shapiro mentioned is that it's Starbucks, you know what I mean? You know, young people drink Starbucks. It's not going to be that hard to convince young people to vote for him. Like, just say like I'm the CEO of Starbucks and you'll get some votes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also he knows that he understands the power that he has being a center delegate, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of fucking crazy because he's outwardly said it like, I know I'm influencing the votes. I know I have a chance for Trump to win. So he knows that power. He knows I can join the Democratic Party and go against Trump, or I can stay, you know what I mean? So he knows he can influence the vote. And he's been pulling in people from both sides. He brought in, did I tell you this? What?
You didn't tell me. I'm looking at that big car right there.
Yeah. Should we just wait until they leave?
Wait for what?
Till they leave.
To do what?
Just be quiet. Why are they saying
that? They might be going on the house, I guess.
And the stop sign? Did you see him go inside?
No, he's still in the driver's seat.
Oh, fuck. Does she have a phone? Is her face glowing?
Mm-mm.
What did she do?
I think she's like throwing something out the window.
Oh. Bob, you know, imagine. Your ears are wrong. That's like how I imagine the start of a movie. There's just like a normal conversation, and then boom, you know what I mean? And then there's a war, and the next thing you know, you're just thrown into this post-apocalyptic movie.
Have you ever watched the like Vice movies?
Which ones?
The one I have in mind is like, it's somewhere in like Australia, and they just dump criminals inside, and this girl gets dumped in, and then she gets kidnapped by a bunch of fucking like cannibals, and they cut off her arm and her leg, and she like cuts out of the bindings, fucking murders some lady with a crowbar, and then crawls into the fucking desert, where she gets picked up by some like roaming hermit who brings her back to the good town. And then it like skips to a year later, where she's got like she's got like a leg prosthetic, and her arm is still like missing. And she buys a revolver and goes out into the desert because she's gonna go kill all the people. And then she finds like this little girl and brings her back to the thing. And it turns out that her dad is like this big fucking like muscly cannibal in that one city. And they show a scene where he just straight up like butchered some lady that was screaming, and then cut her up and fed her to his daughter. And then the rest of the movie is them trying to get the girl back, and the lady just kind of gets dragged into it because she found her and brought her back to the city.
And why are you mentioning this?
It's just something.
It seems interesting. What was I gonna say? I don't know. So what, they dumping them in an area?
Yeah, it's trying trying to think of. Oh, it's an obscure video game. Never mind.
This isn't a movie or show?
This is a movie, but it reminds me of a very obscure video game. Yeah, it's just some kind of... It's like a fenced-off area, and they just fucking open the fence and put her on the other side and then close it.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, Vice movies on Netflix that are like that.
Like, made by Vice?
Yeah.
You gotta watch it. I got a bunch of books from the library. Oh, it's starting to rain. I don't want to have to hop on. So that's what it's looking like. Here it comes. I don't want to get wet. The water. It's hurting. It's hurting me.
You'll be fine.
I can only imagine when you have a kid, it's probably like soaking wet and it's going inside, and you're like, yeah, you'll be fine.
Daddy, I used to feel cold and now I feel warm. You'll be fine. See, you're warming up.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like we have much to say, so I don't know if you want to wrap up this podcast.
Yeah, I guess.
We're like hitting already an hour, so we've done more than enough. We're at 56 minutes. Any wrap up stuff that has to do with our life?
Let's see.
There's a chance that the podcast will get some... It'll become a thing this year, right?
Yeah. I just have to not fuck up the van thing. Just once I have it and it's in my name, I'm free.
What was I gonna say? Yes, I guess we don't have anything else to say. Alright, we're heading out. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.
We're signing off. We'll see you guys next week on Mildly Fatigued.
We'll see you in the movie podcast.
We'll just see you guys soon. Bye.